I'm about to accurately describe the last 5 to 10 years of your life. And if you spend a little bit of time with me here, I promise you that by the end of this video, you will have clarity, maybe for the first time in your life, as to what you should be doing next. You grab this thing after a long day at work and you start scrolling. Maybe you're burnt out from the day, maybe you're burnt out from life, and you start looking for opportunities to get out of your current situation. And you see something that jumps across your screen and says, hey, I made this amount of money. And maybe it's very specific. I made $10,000 in 90 days, and I was only working 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week. Something that pulls you in, something ridiculous. That's what you're searching for. And you think to yourself, yeah, I could do that. So then you jump in and you click the button and you go through a 5-minute funnel that you have to read. And then maybe you end up buying something, a course, a PDF, some type of blueprint or system that gets you out of your current situation. And then maybe you even jump in and watch the first lesson. You're excited. Maybe you watch the first module, but then at some point you stop, you give up, and you realize it was a lot harder than they made to sound in the actual advertisement that you saw on social media. So you move to the next thing, and all of a sudden, 3 to 6 months go by, and you've repeated the same cycle over and over again, and you're in the same exact spot. And if you do this long enough, and I did it for over 10 years. I started 26 different side hustles, and I gave up on every single one of them, and that was my pattern. And I got to the point where I just thought everything was a scam. Nothing's ever going to work. I decided to give it one more shot. The 27th one worked. And it had absolutely nothing, zero, to do with what I chose. It was what I did differently than the previous 26 attempts. And I'm going to share all of that with you in this video. I'm here to tell you that this thing right here is not the answer. It is not the solution. The side hustle that you need to start, the business that you need to start, it lives right here already. And I'm going to show you exactly how to get it out of you. The biggest mistake that you're making, and I made this one too, and I implore you not to go down this path, is you are simply looking for anything, any business that you can do that's easy, fast money, that gets you out of your current situation, which is likely your 9 to 5 job. And if you're making $10,000 per month, you are looking for the side hustle that will replace $10,000 per month. And you don't care what it is. You just want to be able to do it, and you want it yesterday. And that is the trap that we all fall into. And I'm telling you that that stuff is all pie in the sky. It doesn't work. You cannot earn $10,000 per month in 90 days working a fraction of the time when you've never sold a dime online before. I want you to think about that. It doesn't work. I'm here to tell you it doesn't work. I've tried it multiple times. My 27th side hustle worked, and it took me 9 months to get out of my job, and I worked for 4 months without collecting a dime. 4 months, I collected zero dollars. Here's the mistake that I made. Is I built something that I absolutely hated. I got out of my job. I got my wish. I got my dream. I no longer wanted to fly on airplanes and miss my kid grow up. I made it. And then I created something that was worse than my 9 to 5 job. So I tore the whole thing down. I skipped this super important step that I'm about to share with you, and it's boring and no one wants to hear it. No one wants to do it, but it is the thing that is going to give you clarity and get you on the path to clarity. And that is vision, the word vision. If you don't know what you want your life to look like, you will likely build something that you end up giving up on or hating. The first step to a better future, to a better life, to the business that you really want to start, the one that you can see yourself sticking with, is to understand what you want your life to look like. A year from now, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. Do that work. Do that work. It is the most important plan that you will ever make in your life, is the plan for your life, not who am I going to have lunch with next week or what am I doing this weekend. You spend, in some cases, weeks or months planning vacations, but you won't spend 5 minutes planning your life. And that is the error, and that is the mistake. If you don't know where you're going, you are likely going to go all over the place and just keep using this thing to distract you. This is not the answer. Put your phone down for a week and look inside of you and figure out what you want your life to look like. And if you don't know, then start with what you definitely don't want. Write out what you don't want to do, what you don't want your life to look like, and that'll open up space and give you clarity for the things that you do want. Then look for a business. And I'm going to tell you the best way to figure out what business you should start. And I'm going to give you a free resource. It's in the description. It's called the Skill to Business Formula. Over 6,000 people have downloaded it. It works. It's free and it's easy to use. And in under 15 minutes, you will have ideas for an online business you can start based on what you already know how to do. Whether it's from your existing job, your 9-to-5 job, the skills that you have, the skills that you're already getting paid for by somebody. And in some cases, you're getting paid a lot of money for it. Those skills are transferable to an online business. You don't have to learn how to do something brand new. Why would you do that? That's hard. If you are busy and you don't have a lot of time and you have a family and you have obligations, why are you looking at something that's going to take you 20, 30, 40 hours to learn? That's why you give up, because it's too hard. You already know how to do stuff. You already know how to help people, and you already are getting paid for it. So look at that first. If you absolutely hate your job and you don't want anything to do with it, fine. Then look at a transformation that you went through. Look at a life transformation that you went through, that you solved for yourself, a problem you solved for yourself, and go help other people do it. And I'll give you a perfect example. My transformation of 26 different side hustles, of beating my head against the wall, literally for 10 to 15 years trying to find a way to get out of my job. And then I figured it out. And then I didn't figure it out. I shut the whole thing down. So now I help people with all of that 10 to 15 year period, my transformation. Wow, I finally figured this out. And there's so many people going through that. And if you're still watching this video, then you're one of them. You're going through that right now. And you're like, how do I stop this? And I'm telling you, you can stop it. And it starts with the vision. Then look inside and what have you helped people with? If you don't want to do anything with your job, what have you helped people with in life? What have they come to you and asked for help with? We always ignore what's right under our nose. And that's what we have to look at first, not picking up our phone and looking for someone else's system, someone else's blueprint that may not even worked for them. They're just teaching you how to do something. You already know how to do something. You don't need to learn anything new. If you think you don't have any skills, then look at an interest that you have or a hobby, something that you're passionate about, something that you can see yourself doing and not giving up on, and that also matches your vision. Don't build a business that's going to require 50 employees if you want to be sipping margaritas on the beach someday, which I'm fine with. But don't build a big business like that if that's the end game for you. But get clear on that. Get clear on what you want to do in your life, what you want it to look like, because work is important, but you got to live too. And you got to live life. Maybe you don't always want to be working all the time. So figure that out first so that you don't create something that's worse than your current situation. You want a better situation. Describe what your dream outcome is. Magic wand. If I could wake up tomorrow and I had no limitations on money or anything, I could do whatever I would want to do. What would you do? If I asked you to describe the best day of your life, you'd probably be able to tell me in great detail what that looked like, who you were with, what you were doing, what you ate, all the things. But if I ask you right now that same question, you probably can't answer me. You have to answer that question first. And once you do that, you get clear, you get more clarity, and you're able to look at things that you definitely don't want to do. And you can put this stupid thing down finally and stop looking for answers. The answers are within you. Once we pick the business, the idea, I want you to understand this very simple concept, which is I know how to do something and I can help other people. I'm getting paid for it currently. And my Skill to Business formula will help you, I promise you. So if you go through that, you got to go through that and you got to go through those prompts. It brings all of the stuff out of you using AI. I don't want you to think that you have to build your retirement business right now. If you've never made money online before, or you've had limited success, don't worry about replacing your salary right now. Make $100, then make 1,000. Prove to yourself that you can do this, then move to the next level. Too many people make the mistake, and I see it all the time, where they're trying to build a $50,000 per month business from day one. And it gets too big for them. And you go down rabbit holes, and all of a sudden it's like, I can't handle this. I can't do this. And you give up. And then you do what we always do, which is we go to the phone and we look and we scroll and we try to find something easier. Look, I'm here to tell you that business is hard. It really sucks sometimes. I've wanted to quit multiple times. You will not ever see that in an advertisement. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you it's easy. And that if you follow my step-by-step system, you will win. It's like people follow my system and they still don't win because they give up, because they can't stop doing this. They can't stop scrolling. They can't stop pivoting. They don't have a vision. They don't have focus. They don't have discipline. They can't commit to one thing. They don't understand that committing to one thing for a long period of time is the solution. It is not 17 different streams of income. You have one job, and you're trying to replace your one income with 3 to 4 different businesses at the same time. You can't do it and manage a family and manage your life. It is not possible. And that's why you keep giving up. And that's why you keep looking for the next silver bullet. And the silver bullet is a trap. It's actually going to make you crash and burn. Okay? It doesn't exist. What you need to do, number one, stop doing the scrolling thing, and then figure out the vision piece. Vision for your life. What do you want it to look like? It's your life. Then look internal. What do I know how to do? What am I getting paid for right now? Literally take your resume and screenshot it and upload it into ChatGPT and have it analyze it for you and find online businesses for me based on what I'm already getting paid for. My prompts will help you do that as well. If you've helped people in real life, people have come to you and said, hey, you're really good at this. Can you help me with this? Those are people who are looking for help with something. And if you didn't help them, they would keep asking. They have a problem that they need to solve, and they would likely be willing to pay money for it. And if anyone has ever said to you, you should start a business, you're really good at this, you should do that for your business, that can't be any more of a glaring signal for you to start that particular business. The problem is that you overthink everything to the moon. And overthinking is the most expensive hobby that you have. And it is the thing that absolutely keeps you stuck and will keep you stuck forever. And you got to stop overthinking things, right? This isn't that complicated. You're making it complicated. So I want you to look at something that you know how to do already. What's a problem that you can solve? Can you go out and make $100? Like, keep it in front of you. Like, keep it close to you. Don't think about 50 grand a month or $100,000 a month right now. If that's what you want, you can get there, but you don't need to think about it right now today because it's going to derail you. Then once you have the business, once you have the idea and you launch, like just launch the thing, hit the go button, quit tweaking websites and funnels and products and logos and all this stuff that does not matter. Go find people that you can help. Go find them, talk to them, create an audience, build an audience, serve them, help them, find out what they're really challenged with, and then make products for them, charge them money for it. That's how we do this. But how we do this, how we get to that point, and also you have to eliminate everything else. You got to stop looking at pivots. I want you to think about this one thing right now and answer this question for yourself. You've started a side hustle. You've started an online business. You've looked at something. Maybe you got pretty far down the road. Maybe you were very close to launching. And for whatever reason, you gave up. You stopped doing it. I want you to think about this for a second and really, really answer this for yourself. If you had stuck with that and just kept going and busted through all the brick walls that are going to come in business, and if you had just stayed that course for 5 years, for 10 years, would you have everything that you want in your life right now? Answer that question for yourself. And if the answer is yes, which most people ask that question to, it is yes, then that you know what to do. You know what you need to do. You're just not doing it. You can do this. If it sounds like I'm yelling at you, it's because I care about you, because I've seen so many people fall into this trap and they just can't get out of it. And they, at some point they just get broken and they're just filled up with anger and regret and everything's a scam. And this online stuff doesn't work. And you might feel that way. And I'm telling you that, yeah, there's some people out there that are not doing nice things, but you do work. Your skills and your ability, they do work, and you're already getting paid for them. Just look at your paycheck. Go grab your paycheck right now and look at it and say, I'm getting paid for my skills. You'll never look at your paycheck again if you go do that. And understand that the value is there. You do not need a degree. You do not need a certification. You do not need to be an expert. You do not need some stamp of approval for you to take your skills into the online world. It's just a different environment for you. It's the same exact thing. It's a different environment. And that's what freaks people out is, oh, I got to go online now and I got to show my face, or I got to make content, or I got to do this. It's like, trust me, no one's dying over here. It's not that bad. Okay? Trust me, it is not that bad. You can do it. We just have to get over a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt, and definitely overthinking. But I promise you that you can do this. If you set realistic expectations, give yourself a longer timeline. You don't need to do this tomorrow. You don't need to get out of your job tomorrow. Maybe some of you do, but you're going to be in it a lot longer if you keep doing what you've been doing. Download the Skill to Business formula. It works. I promise you it'll help you. Thank you for watching the video. I just want you to know that if you don't think anybody believes in you, then you've got one person who does believe in you. You got this. Let's go.